After decades of isolation, Myanmar is open for business. Foreign investment is pouring into this country, and the senior government official in charge of the drive to attract that investment was educated in New Zealand. Aung Naing Oo completed Victoria University's English language training for officials in 2003. He enjoyed the experience so much that some years later he sent his daughter Omar to study in New Zealand as well. Aung Naing Oo and Omar Aung Naing Oo, it's very nice to meet you both, and thanks for talking to us here today.
My pleasure.
You're most welcome.
Can I start by asking you, what was this English language course that you went on in New Zealand, and how was the experience?
It was really good for me. It was in 2002. I was selected to learn English in the Victoria University of Wellington in New Zealand. So my experience there was fantastic. I not only had a chance to learn English, but also I can experience a lot of New Zealand. So it's really good for me. And the proficiency of English is really helpful for my work. So I was enjoying my study in New Zealand.
Why did you choose to study in New Zealand?
Actually, at that time, there were the program proposed by the New Zealand government to our government to send some officials to learn English in New Zealand. We call L2, English Language Training for Officials. And I was in intake 20, so I had to sit the IELTS as the examination here in British Council in Yangon, and then I was eligible to study in New Zealand.
What did you think of the quality of the teaching on the program?
It's excellent according to my experience, because I have experienced different teaching method and different way of learning English, and that is really helpful and that is really supportive for me to improve my English competency. Yeah.
What was unique about the teaching style?
Before I went to New Zealand, my proficiency, especially in spoken English and the writing English, is not that good as I'm nowadays. So it's really good. The teachers are very kind, and they had a very good teaching method to understand easily to all students for how to improve ourselves in learning English.
What else did you like about New Zealand?
I love a lot of things in New Zealand. I love especially the landscape there and culture, or not only New Zealand people, also Maori people there. I love them. And also I had a chance to visit a lot of places like Hawke's Bay and Nelson in South Island and Picton in South Island. So the experience I was in New Zealand is great for me.
You also did a homestay while you studied in Napier for a few weeks. How was that?
It's good because according to the program, there were two trimester and 3 months, 3 months trimester. Between the break, we had a chance to have homestay with the Kiwi families, and I went to Napier, and I was staying together with the New Zealand, Kiwi families, and I can learn what the lifestyle of the New Zealanders are, and also I can enjoy some typical New Zealand food and culture as well. It's really good for me. Yeah.
And Omar, what about you? Was the choice to go and study in New Zealand yours or your dad's?
Actually, it was my dad. He thinks the country is really safe, and also the education system is really great. So when I finished my high school and choosing the university which I should attend, he recommended me to go to New Zealand and study in Victoria University.
And what was it like there for you?
It was great. I made a lot of friends. They are still in close contact with me, so yeah.
What did you think about the way you were taught in New Zealand compared to the way you'd been schooled in Myanmar?
Because I did only high school, I couldn't really say about the university life in Yangon, but definitely during my high school year, it's more like I learned the lesson by heart instead of doing my own thinking and imaginative stuff. But in New Zealand, when I do my projects and assignment, it's more like my own imagination and my own way of doing business or stuff. So it's the big difference.
You're recently back from studying a business degree at Victoria University. What did your teachers and lecturers actually do to encourage this sort of creative thinking?
It's more like real world problems. We don't really learn theoretical stuff. We apply to the real world and we took example of case study and stuff. So it's really more applicable to the real world business.
Ooh, can I come back to you on that and ask you, what do you think the key differences are between the Myanmar education system and the education system in New Zealand?
Keyword is teaching method is totally different here in Myanmar and in New Zealand. So this is very strange, very excellent experience for me. Let me compare the teaching method of English in Myanmar and in New Zealand. So there are kind of, we had textbooks. All the teaching are based on the lessons are based on the textbook. And apart from the textbook, there is no other creative activities for students to expand the innovation and to expand their understanding and learning English. But in New Zealand, the teaching is totally different. Not like teaching, it's discussion between the teachers and students. And also there's some lab for us. So we have to go regularly to the lab for our listening skill. And also there are library. So we have to go to the library regularly to improve our reading skill. So that is very effective for students to improve their skill of English within a short period of time. So this is different.
Omar, you talked about the New Zealand approach to education. What about the social life, and did you get a chance to get out and explore much of the country, and did you make a lot of good friends while you were there?
Yeah, whenever I had break or holiday, I will travel around the country, and it was really peaceful because I actually enjoy the nature life. So yeah, I had a really great chance traveling around the country.
What would you say to any of your friends considering studying in New Zealand?
I also think a great way I had instead to study in New Zealand is that if you go to other countries, there are a very big Myanmar community. So normally Myanmar students, we just stay in a bubble. But when I went to New Zealand, there wasn't really much Myanmar students. So I made more international friends, and it really helped me enhance my knowledge and understanding of culture, food, or everything. So I really think it's a great opportunity to make more international friends. Yeah.
You're now back in Myanmar. What are your plans for the future?
Right now I'm just resting, and I will start doing in a local company for 1 or 2 years to get some experience first, and then I would like to start my own business. And I haven't really decided or figured out what I will do yet.
There have been a lot of changes in this country.
Yes, and a lot more opportunities.
Is it an exciting place to be as a young person?
Yes, definitely, because I think it's a really great time to work here, start working, or even start to do your own business, because the country is really opening up and a lot more opportunity for young people.
Ooh and Omar, thank you very much for talking to us.
My pleasure.
My pleasure.